Bone-chilling, icy storm raged across the plains covered in deep snow. Hours passed like minutes, seconds felt like days. The adventurers' painstaking trek towards the last known location of the Frost Father has practically ground to a halt.
"Oh, come on now, let's stop this nonsense,"
groaned Vetled, disgruntled by these harsh conditions.
"Soliana, for the love and hate of all gods and fiends, let's make a tiny hut and wait until this storm calms down,"
he yelled. Soliana chuckled. "Sure thing. This cold doesn't suit my complexion either." "I agree," said Adamar. "I need to mix up a few more elixirs anyway. Who knows what horrors are hidden in that mountain cave." Farbane turned around and silently nodded in approval. He kneeled down and covered himself in a blanket while waiting for Soliana and Vetled to finish the magical shelter ritual. Not a minute passed, he felt faint tremors coming from below. "Hey, you feeling this?" he yelled, unsure whether the tremors were just his body shivering in response to extreme cold. He barely even finished the question, and the ground nearby shook uncontrollably and exploded, covering everyone in piles of snow, ice, and frozen soil. A massive frost worm emerged, unleashing a harrowing cry, stupefying the spelldancer and alchemblade while Vetled tried to shield himself against the worm's sharp jaws. Seeing Vetled getting chomped and swallowed by it, Farbane charged as fast as he could to prevent its escape. He grabbed his shield while strands of shadow magic in his other hand quickly formed into a blade. Reaching the monster just in time to stick the blade right in its head, he scrambled its ravenous instincts for a second and held it in sight.
"Come on, banish it already! Vetled's ward ain't gonna hold forever!"
shouted Farbane. Soliana acted quickly, temporarily shunting the worm to a demiplane with a powerful spell. Vetled plopped down on the snow, covered in frosty stomach acid and half-digested bits of flesh.
"Ah, its insides are absolutely disgusting."
"Here, drink these," said Adamar, handing over a batch of elixirs to Vetled. While the gnome gulped the vials, Farbane was counting seconds, concerned. "You are aware my blade won't last long and my magical reserves aren't nearly as vast as yours?" he asked. "Yes, dear. Let him catch a breath, would you?" fired back Soliana while keeping the monster banished. "Here, have at it now." She released the monster from the magical clutches, letting it appear in front of them once again. Vetled immediately paralyzed the worm with a powerful spell of his own. Farbane started swiftly and methodically draining the monster's primitive mind with his psychic weapon. Its body was radiating cold, but Farbane's resolve was unyielding. The overwhelming barrage of his attacks was too much, even for a monster of gargantuan proportions. Just before Farbane's magical blade vanished, he made one last quick swing. As the monster's little brain got completely overwhelmed, it finally exploded, bursting in a shockwave of pure, freezing elemental energy. Farbane's indomitable martial training kicked in, and he avoided and absorbed the brunt of it, just enough to keep him standing, while Vetled and Soliana absorbed the rest. "Well, that settles it for good," he said, pissed and nearly frozen to death. "Make that shelter, will ya? I'm not making another step forward." Vetled let out a hearty laugh.
"Well, boy, you sure deserved some warmth too."
The heroic band set out for the rest of the evening in a magical dome, warming up, laughing and joking about the worm's sloppy, lifeless body, and finally sleeping for the rest of the night. If you enjoyed this short teaser story for a new character, please murder hobo the like button below. It really helps the channel grow. And if you want to know more details about the Eldritch Shadow, imbue the subscribe and bell notification buttons in Shadow Magic to get notified when the build overview and the detailed breakdown videos get published. Thank you for watching, MinMax Munchkin out, and talk to you soon.